Well, hello. This is Rosa from rcgkreations. How are you doing? I dehydrated. Yesterday was a big food preservation processing day for me. I think we're totally done and we're caught up for the rest of the year. More than likely 6 months. This is September. Excuse me, no, this is October 2nd. What I did is I processed 25 pounds of potatoes. At our store 2 weeks ago, I went to 3 stores and they had no potatoes whatsoever. So this week I just went in to grab one little thing, and then I saw they had 10-pound bags of potatoes, which I couldn't find before at all. I only found 3 to 5-pound bags, so I only took the one. Should have taken 2, but anyway, I didn't. But anyway, so long story short, I wasn't too sure, so I went ahead and purchased 2 10-pound bags and 1 5-pound bag. And they're all russet potatoes, and I diced them up. These are going to be home fries. They're little diced up. Let me bring you up closer. See the little diced potatoes. And to save, because we only have a little small refrigerator in our kitchen and a little small old-timer refrigerator in the garage, and that's it. We don't have a deep freeze, so that's one of my big projects that I hope to get, is a big deep freeze. But since we don't, you work with what you've got. So what I've done is I've taken 10 trays, and you can see my trays right here, and I'm putting them on a towel to get ready to put. This is going to be in a container that's going to stay in our regular everyday pantry, and then anything extra is going to go in here. I may have to go to a smaller jar depending on how many I fit in here. And this is going to be for our long-term storage. But this is a good way for you to process, because you can get a dehydrator. Cause I would love to get a freezer, but those are $4,000 or $5,000, and it's like, ouch. Not only that, I don't have the space for one. That's another thing, is I would have to get rid of something and downsize, which we are downsizing, but we're not there yet. So anyway, long story short, go to Goodwill, go to a thrift store, or just go buy a brand new dehydrator. You really only need like a 4-tray one, but if you get one that's like this one, this is the Nesco Garden Master. It does allow, this particular model does allow you to hold 15 trays, but I've only got 10 trays, and we're empty nesters. For us, this is more than enough. If I need to, I'll just do double sessions of canning, but I already know what my trays typically can hold. So, dehydrating like every 2 weeks is fine with me. I'm good to go. But if you've got a full crowd, a full household, you may want to get it with the 15 trays and get the additional trays to go with it. There's also an Excalibur. There's all different kinds of brands out there. Just do your own research, look it up, see what's best for your family, and of course stay in your price budget. Because the whole purpose of this is to have food in hand in your home in case there's a layoff, lost your job, got fired, whatever reason. The food epidemic, like what's going on, starting to go around now. It's a little bit, because the prices are getting ridiculous, and they're just starting, and the holidays are just around the corner. So it's going to be even worse come November and December, because this is an election year here in the United States. And I think it's the second week or first week, I forget what day the election's November. And so that's going to come before Thanksgiving. So the prices are going to go up. Job layoffs are going to go up, because it happens every election year. That's just the way it is. So stock up when you can on what you can with what you have. There's all kinds of videos out there of where do I store food, how do I store it, how do I process it. Check out all my videos. I've got all different kinds of variety of videos on how to use a dehydrator. I only could show you how to use mine, but pretty much basically they're all the same. Now, if you can, get a dehydrator that has a dial on it. A lot of them come, like the Excaliburs, they come with the actual, like, vegetables at this amount, jerky at this amount, that type of thing. Mine has a dial. It just got the temperature dial on it. So, like, I think it's like 75 or 80. I forget what it is. I'll put a picture of it. I have a picture already. I'll log a picture of the entire machine itself. And I already know vegetables, for potatoes and green beans, broccoli, stuff like that. My greens, I personally, Rosa, I basically dehydrate those to grind them for my spices. So like my Italian seasonings, stuff like that. That's when I grind those. I dehydrate those specifically to grind. Now, yes, all you do is you grab as much as you need, so whatever you're going to make for that one meal, put it in a container, put water just above the top level of the water, because you want all the food submerged in water. And then after 20 minutes, your food is dehydrated, it's ready to use again. Now, 9 times out of 10, almost everything that you eat, just take a bite out of it, like with fruit and stuff like that, because I do a lot of fruit, apples, oranges, orange skins to make orange skin powder, which is great, like if you want a little bit of an orange drink, but you don't, you control the sugar. So you're just using orange skin powder to make your orange drink. And because it's real oranges, the nutrients are there, okay? So there's all kinds of things that you can do. Do yourself a favor, Google it, search the internet, search the web, do some YouTube searches. There's all kinds of stuff out there. So let me get back into this. So basically what I'm doing is I'm just dumping everything on my little towel here, so it's going to be easy for me to load up my container. And some things fall right off. Some things stick to it, so you have to just, it's because it's strength, because what you're doing is the dehydrator is heating up the food, and it's causing all the moisture to evaporate, and that's why it's all dry and crunchy. Okay, and when it does that, of course, it shrinks. So we have the mesh. These are that cross stitch stuff. I got this from the craft store. I made my own, but let me show you. I also purchased some. I've had my machine for over 25 years. This is my third one, the exact same model. I really enjoy this machine. Okay, and here's the ones that are purchased from Nesco. I like these, but they're kind of pricey. So, and I made enough. I have enough. Those are what we call mesh screens. I have just enough for every tray. And then they also come. They sell the solid plastic liner, and that's to make a liquid, like that fruit roll-ups, or put like refried beans or mashed beans, put them on top of that, or even what's even really good is make yourself a double batch of mashed potatoes next time you're making mashed potatoes. Make a double batch, and the half of it, put it on top of your jelly roll liners, okay? Then you dehydrate them. Then once they're totally dehydrated, put it in an airtight container, preferably mason, because mason jars are better. This is quick. This is going to be my pantry, but these are really, really good. They're from the Container Store. I forget the name. I'll put a link in there because I did a video on my review of these containers. And I've really been very, very happy with them. And they are very, very airtight. I just lost my train of thought. Anyway, so I just literally lost my train of thought. What was I talking about? Anyway, so let me get back to this before this video gets too long, because I really don't want it to get too long. So I'm going to do all this. In fact, I'm just going to go ahead and show you now, because you don't need to see me do the rest. So I'm just going to grab my towel. You can use parchment. You don't have to use a towel. I just had a towel. It was a brand new clean towel, so I'm just going to use it. Whoops. Make sure you grab onto it so you don't have a big mess. And then I'm just filling up my container. I don't want to overflow, so that's why I'm being very extra cautious. I don't want to have an overflow here. Then I'll have crumbs, not crumbs, I'll have my food all over the table. And I don't want to do that. See, and I like these containers because they're really airtight. And then see how you have to have a snap? There is a rubber seal on the inside of the lid. Okay. Okay, it's not a rubber seal. It's the actual seal itself. This is like a plastic silicone seal. And that's what gives it the airtight. You hear it snap? See that? This is snapped. So, there's that. I know that's not going to be enough for this big jar. I'm going to get myself a smaller jar, and then I'll bring you back. Okay, we are back. So out of 10 trays of diced, see that? They're small little diced pieces. Okay. Which these make great for like home fries to go with breakfast. Rehydrate them. Add a little oil to your pan. Put them in there with a couple of pieces of onion. Put some bell peppers in there. That's some good, some diced up bell peppers. That's some good side dish to go with your breakfast eggs. Okay, but I wanted to show you. Now, this is the perfect time. These things are expensive. Okay, there's nothing wrong with this other than it's gotten rusty from so many times of uses. Okay, this one's August 10, 2020. I processed something in here. I don't know what it was. And then see your rings, your metal rings from sitting in the water when it's processing. Or like a lot of people, they wash them, let them air dry. That air dry, this is metal. Water is your enemy. So you need to get in there and dry them right away. Don't let them sit in there and dry. But there's nothing wrong with these. So as long, this is a perfect time to use these old metal ones so you don't have to go buy new ones. Because it doesn't matter that it's metal, because look at this. The food is not touching the metal ring whatsoever. And all you're doing, closing it as tight as you can. This thing is preserved for at least 15, 20 years. Okay? Now I know that because I've done it with dehydrated stuff. Now if you have a vacuum sealer, the best thing to do, like this is long-term storage, is go ahead and vacuum seal this for even more longer term storage. Will probably last you 25, 30 years. You know, so, but I'm learned to, the last 3 years with the COVID situation, I've learned to eat what we have and don't worry about saving, and don't buy your long-term storage and then don't use it for 15, 20 years. It's going to get spoiled. The weather, like here, I mean, it happens everywhere in the world. It gets hot, it gets cold. All of a sudden you have a cold when you've never had cold before. All of a sudden you have a hot when you haven't had hot before. You have flooding issues. Anything can happen. So, you know, don't think of this is meant to be used and don't use it, don't open it for 30 years. Don't do that. Go ahead and, again, this is just my personal opinion. Go ahead and plan on using this right away. So when this in my everyday pantry is empty, this more likely fill this whole container up. And guess what? Now it's time for me to make some more. I don't need to do another thing. And, you know, just depends on how long. I like to keep track of all my stuff and how long it lasts. Because some stuff lasts a long time. Some stuff doesn't because we like it. We eat it a lot. And some stuff, you know, you like it, but you don't want to make too much of it. And it just depends on what's going on. So, like me, I personally will be very, very happy to have about 10 on hand at all times of these jars because, and the reason I do that, no, me and hubby aren't going to need all that. You never know when someone is in need and they're going to need food. This is a great way for you to reach out to our fellow men, our brothers and sisters, and give them something in your food pantry that you already have. You know, and I would just put a label on here with directions on how to rehydrate this, that way they know. Because a lot of people don't know about that. And I will label this and let them know what it is. And then I always like to put a little label here because hubby, I love him to death, but he is not going to know how to rehydrate this. So when he wants to make some, he's not going to know what to do. So I'm just going to put a label on here for him, so he knows what it is, how to use it, what's recommended. But it's like anything else. If you have nothing but this container and that's all you have, rehydrate it, fry it up. You don't have heat, you don't have a heat source, rehydrate this and eat it cold, because you know what, when you're starving, some food is better than nothing. But hopefully none of us are ever in that situation, but you never know. But anyway, so here we got 10 jars, 10 trays, dehydrated potatoes, and I would say it's about 2 quarts. I really do think it's gonna, this one, let me see if I can see it. It doesn't say. I'll put a link in the video of what size this container is. I don't have my readers on, so I can't see. Nope, it doesn't say. But I'll put this, I'll do a pop-up, letting you know what this container size is. Oh, another thing is, when you have dehydrated items, shake it, and when you shake it, add more to it to fill it all the way up. But I'm okay, I'm good to go with this one because this is a full one. And my lid's not touching my food, so I'm good to go with that. Don't forget to hit like, comment, and share. Give me a thumbs up. YouTube likes that. Post a comment. I would love to know what you hydrate, or if you have some tips, or you have questions, or you'd like to know more about dehydrating. Go into the description box. I always put my email address in there. Give me your email, and then we'll be able to communicate back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Okay? And if you want to, I also have a Facebook page, and we can communicate through Facebook private messenger. Okay, I'm trying to limit my personal stuff with my professional, because for me, this is my job. My job is, I'm 62 years old, and I want to be able to give what my knowledge of what I've learned throughout my years, or what I just learned recently, because I am a new cook. Haven't done it before, and I've dabbled in it, but I haven't. Now I'm really into cooking, and now I'm really into baking. And we're doing a weight loss program, so we get 2 bites of whatever I bake, and the rest is given away to family and friends. And it lets me experiment with different things, and if it's something that I really, really, really like, I'll save it, or I'll make it again. But I have to really be careful with it, because if I get caught in that, holidays are coming, I'm going to be eating all these sweets, and I can't do that, because I don't want to go back to where I was before I started my weight loss program, because I really want to lose a lot more weight before the end of the year, or at least the end of next year, because I know it didn't take me fast to gain the weight. It's not going to be fast to lose it either. So anyway, I'm basically doing it for my health. It's not for anything else. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to check out that description box. And you take care. Thumbs up, hit like, and subscribe if you're not already a subscriber. Take care now. Bye-bye. We'll catch you in the next video. I forgot. I got to do a little thumbnail. So, taking 10 trays of dehydrated potatoes, made this small little amount that would store easily in your food pantry. Take care now. Bye-bye.